And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we can customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
Yeah, so with the the ETFs that got approved, we've seen a huge influx of capital into the system. About $12 billion of inflow have happened. And when that happens, sometimes people ask us, well, what does that mean for Coinbase? Well, it's actually incredibly positive for Coinbase. We're the custodian for about 90% of the assets in those Bitcoin ETFs. And so we have monetization opportunities there as a custodian. But
going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold. I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So like I told you, I definitely see a big pullback in the first quarter. Then the master magician set up a distraction so the Fed can cut rates, and then we move up. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin, crypto, and flat. And guys, we know they like the markets to look decent while Jerome Powell is in the house. And guys, we're definitely in for a wild ride. Make sure you're joining the Patreons to get yourselves prepared. Now we have Robinhood rolls out crypto wallet to Android users globally. And guys, we know it's all about adoption. And we have U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF surge past 150 billion in cumulative trading volume. Now make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are down because we know Jerome is in the house. We have the dollar up. We have volume and crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And then we have the Fed. Repo at 446 billion yesterday. And we know the Fed is removing the safety blankets. And that's the reason why we're going to see more distractions and more movies. And it will last until they finish building this fourth industrial revolution. Remember, guys, it's going to take 3 to 5 years. They got to take all this money out of the system in order to start building. As we know in crypto, the technology is already set and ready to go. The robots, algorithms, and drones are ready to take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep are definitely going in the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, all down. Now, we have Kraken's institutional platform debuts custody service named Kraken Custody. And guys, as Brian Armstrong stated, they have 90% of these spot Bitcoin ETFs custody on lock. So they're making plenty of revenue until competition comes in. And we know that competition is definitely going to come in. Now we have the SEC again delaying spot Ethereum ETFs. And guys, we know all of it's about timing. They're definitely going to get approved, but it's all about timing. The media is going to continue on playing the Hegelian dialectic, but this Ethereum spot ETF is going to bring in a whole lot more money than Bitcoin. You're talking about staking your Ethereum. That's just like getting dividends, guys. Now we have Luxor looks to help Bitcoin miners hedge halving risks with new hash rate futures. And of course, the gambling casino is in, but that's still not going to help them because we know it's just going to be more consolidation. Now we have Ton Foundation launches Ton Coin Community Rewards, an initiative worth over $100 million. Now we have Do Kwon appeal of South Korea extradition rejected by Montenegro courts, and guys, we see the movie continues. Now we have Square Enix invests in Web3 and NFT gaming platform Hyperplay. And guys, we know gaming is all about the millennials and Generation Z, getting them inside the metaverse. And speaking of gaming, we have Immutable and King River Capital plus Polygon Labs set up a $100 million Web3 gaming fund. Now we have Signum tokenized $50 million of Fidelity International Fund as Matter Labs moves reserves to blockchain. And guys, as we know, everything's going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. And who's leading the charge? That's right, our big banks and big corporations, and they're picking the winners and losers. Now we have Lithuania licensed crypto bank mailed to offer tokenized real-world assets to retail investors. Also, we have Starknet and Ethereum Layer 2 plans parallel execution to mimic Solana speed feature. And this technology is going to be seamless before they bring it to the masses. And now the NWO is open about the plan, guys. They're telling you what they're about to do. Now we have Blackrock's Larry Fink that says that, hey, everything's going to be tokenized. And he basically talks about digital ID without saying it's a digital ID. Because it's on blockchain, they'll be able to know everything about you. And remember who gets all this blockchain data. That's right, SWIFT. So the central banks will know you better than you know yourself. And then we have smart contract platform Sorbin finally arrives on Stellar Network. And we know how XLM, XRP, Ethereum smart contracts are going to change the world. And that's the reason why we're seeing the layoffs pick up. We know these small and medium-sized banks are not going to survive because the big banks are going to take over. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. Long COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.